from Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia. And it's time to crown a champion in men's college lacrosse in Division II. It's Dave Ryan alongside Mark Dixon, former midfielder at Johns Hopkins, longtime lacrosse analyst and expert. Lenoir-Rhyne, the Bears, the defending champs at 17-1, get set to take on Adelphi, the Panthers from Garden City, Long Island, at 16-2. All right, Dixie, can't wait for our second championship of the day. First one in D3 went to Tufts 18-14. A really fun game to call and watch over Tufts. Tufts got the title over RIT. Here it's LR trying to defend the championship. Last year on this very field, they took down Mercyhurst 20-5 in a game that was never really close. But today against Adelphi, we expect a tight one. They met way back in February, and it was a 7-3 win for Lenoir-Rhyne. It's going to be hot and fast here today in Philly compared to that first game.
For sure, and we're taking a look at the last meeting. Fewest goals scored by both teams this season. Both goaltenders were terrific, and they'll have to be big again here today. This is a Adelphi program with a rich history, led and coached by one of their best players, if not the best player in program history, Gordon Purdy. On the other side, Greg Paradine. The Bears looking to defend their title from a year ago. He is a North Carolina Tar Heel, won national championship as a player in Chapel Hill. As we take a look at the bracket, both these teams, it was tough sledding getting to this championship game. You look at Lenoir-Rhyne, they had to beat Limestone not just once but twice. Conference tournament and then the NCAA tournament. Then they took down a very good Tampa Spartan team in overtime. And then Adelphi, of course, having to go through Pace and then St. Elsalm to get to this national championship game. Both these teams battle-tested and very talented.
Bears, the defending champs, lone loss to Limestone on March 9th. They've won 11 straight since. Adelphi, just 2 losses on the year. They've won 14 games in a row, so 25 games combined. Straight victories between these two sides, so something has got to give here on a sun-splashed afternoon. Temps about 85 degrees, no rain in the forecast for our D2 National Championship game. Adelphi has won 7 titles, great history in Division II, but the last time, 2001, and LR champs from last year. First time in school history, any NCAA sport had won a championship in Hickory, North Carolina, last year's Bears.
Yeah, they made history, and they're looking to repeat. You know, to win 1 championship, you're great. You win 2, you become legend. So we'll see what happens here with this Lenoir-Rhyne ball club as we take a look at the recent champions. It's been a while for the Adelphi Panthers. Long Island proud, Long Island strong. 23 years to be exact. They would love to take another national title back up north.
Adelphi and the whites. LR will be in the dark jerseys with the white helmets here today on Championship Sunday. Matt Palin, Josh Blaisdell, Brady Ollier are the on-field officials for our game here today. Division II national title at stake. Tufts won the D3 title. Who wins in Division II here in steamy Philly? Nick O'Shea is going to take the draw for Adelphi. Matt Mancini for the Bears here. Defending champs on this very field a year ago. Mancini out the front door trying to win it to himself. As the D2 title game is underway. Adelphi in the whites trying to bring it out of their own zone here off wing play. Long scrum, helmet off, and that stops play.
And, new NCAA rule this year, player loses a helmet, he's got to come out of the game immediately. It is a stoppage of play, and that is number 9, Colton McCracken for Lenoir-Rhyne. He is the short stick defensive midfielder of the year in Division III. He will not be allowed to re-enter this game until the next dead ball.
Wow, that's a big loss early, right? So McCracken has to take a seat. Hipchin with the nifty behind-the-back pass. And Horinsky, the senior, with 30 points, 24 goals, will help set up shop here for Adelphi. Panthers, a fantastic season back in the D2 title game. Trying to win it again. First time since 2001. Their last of 7 titles. Steinbach and company, along with Lewis. He's got 49 points, 29 goals. Handles up top here. Here's a lefty shot on the way. It stopped. Early save, LR. Pensabene who had 9 saves, 14 goals allowed in the semifinal win over Tampa. He was the goaltender last year in the D2 title game win over Mercyhurst. That was never close. We expect this one to be a tight game all the way through.
Well, I like that save by Pensabine. If you're a Lenoir-Rhyne fan, it was clean. He recognized it, nice and confident. Get him his first save under his belt. He's been on this stage before, as has most of his teammates on this Lenoir-Rhyne team. This is a new environment for Adelphi. How do they handle the first 5-7 minutes of this big environment?
Tommy Aguilar and company in the offensive end here. Quick shot. Blocked and comes to the near side. They'll reset the shot clock to 60. Adelphi's netminder, Dylan Renner, senior. Gordon Purdy told us this week he has been very special for us. Part of the big run all the way to the national championship game. Aguilar passing this time to Bender. Here's Aguilar on the far side. They'll operate here for LR, trying for back-to-back titles. Their only other championship school history had been an NAIA national championship in football. The first ever NCAA title school history came on this field last year. Stewart handles, looking for the short side. Stop. Renner goes low. Makes a good play there on Tommy Aguilar, the senior. Now the outlet pass, and Adelphi will try to bring it upfield on a clear.
Yeah, Renner looks on his game as well, so good goaltending early on, and we're seeing why this game was only 7-3. Back on February the 24th, Lenoir-Rhyne won that contest. Both goalies were terrific. Kind of the feeling out stage, if you will, but both of these ball clubs has had some quality looks on cage, and again, credit the netminders for coming up with some big early stops.
Hipchin for Tucker, and they'll get in the offensive end here for Steinbach. The transfer from Hofstra operates here top of the box. Steinbach trying to get the right hand free and pull the trigger. And look for the icebreaker here in the D2 title game. Tufts a champ already today. 4th championship school history for the Jumbos. Donnellan gets the return pass on the far side and handles here for Adelphi. Malley and company, 20 to shoot. Trail check. Great play there. LR's Ashley, the senior, has got his 20th caused turnover of the season. Another fantastic robbery there. Outlet pass to Pensabine, who's a tall goaltender. Things unsettled here for Lenoir-Rhyne. They'll come to the offensive end with a quick shot. And stop. Renner goes up high and makes a big play there on Voss, the junior and second leading scorer for the Bears this year with 44 points.
Yeah, Renner now with his 3rd stop to transfer from Long Island University. Offensively, the first 2 real pushes and the shot, and then he got trail check. But number 6, Kyle Lewis, big, strong midfielder, looking like he is an alpha on this Adelphi offense, which has been primarily midfield dominated in terms of the initiation in the early going here.
Boko, 18 games, 31 points for him. Top scorer is Tucker, number 0. Big little play from McCabe. No work there for Donnellan. Logan Tucker, 73 points this year. Ian Donnellan in the back 15. And Adelphi very patient here, unlike our D3 title game where they're
I think by this stage of that game,
quickly. We had 0 shot clock violations. Really wasn't a shot clock factor until the very end of the game. Donnellan trying to get free, trying to bounce that, and it's in. What a shot. Braden Donnellan, the freshman. Nifty stick work. Somehow finds the net for Adelphi for the icebreaker in the D2 title game.
What a shot. Donnellan, how'd that go? To make an impact immediately on the game, uses the pick, and just an overhand shot over his shoulder. Beautiful look. It tucks underneath the crossbar. It looks a lot like Connor Schellenberger's first goal yesterday. Virginia, Maryland coming from behind the cage. And Adelphi is off to the quick 1-0 lead.
O'Shea, Mancini take the draw face-off dot here, partner at midfield. And Matthew Mancini, transfer from Old Dominion, has got the face-off win. He'll play off to the wing in Zach Stallo, sophomore from Buford, Georgia. And LR bidding for a second straight title gets set up here. What a goal. And a sharp angle from Donald. I'm not sure how that went in still.
You and me both.
Over the shoulder, backhand shovel off the bounce. Well, that was special. Somehow got just enough of the corner for the icebreaker. Stewart trying to create, does just that for LR. He's got the icebreaker, Sloan Stewart. The freshman's 15th of the year. We're tied at 1, first quarter.
Business has picked up over the last couple of minutes. Lenoir-Rhyne, I'm a freshman. I'm going to get involved in the party. Just a good dodge from behind the cage, drifts up the alley left-handed, and he doesn't get a closeout, so he steps away from the defensive pressure, leaves his feet, and sticks it. Nice high-to-low bouncer, beats Renner.
2 goals, revenge game, Limestone in the quarterfinals of the NCAA tournament. Face-off win, LR, and it comes right to Salo. 7-1 for 8 for him this year. And off the wing, the Bears have the face-off win and the ball here.
Yeah, this
all
is
tied up.
This is where Adelphi really struggles. They're only winning around 33-34% on the season. They've had injuries decimate them at the face-off dot, something to pay attention to as this game progresses.
We had a good chat this week with Gordon Purdy, great player at Adelphi. Dixie, as you talked about, sharp angle somehow comes all the way through. Stewart trying for back-to-back jacks, and the loose change is pulled away by Butler. Now the coach told us if we can go anywhere near 50% at the face-off dot in this championship game against Lenoir-Rhyne, we've got a real shot to win.
Yeah, it's pretty ambitious. They got to around 40% in their run to this Division II championship contest. But 50%, if you can do that, you know, this is Lenoir-Rhyne coming in. Mancini, their leading face-off taker, around 61%. So it's a tall order, but this is a good defense, good goaltender. But you cannot live with a major disparity in possession time if you can't compete at the face-off.
Horinsky on a bounce. Pass for Lewis. 49 points for him this year, as we talked about. Here's Horinsky, top of the box. Shorty matchup. We'll get the pick up top. Shot off target. Ripped there for Steinbach. The Hofstra transfer, 16 and 5 for 21. He was 1-1 for 2 against St. Anselm in the semifinals. One of 2 key Kyles on this roster for the Panthers. They're both going to be important today. Tucker. Operates for Donald and had that incredible goal earlier. Ball through traffic, almost picked. Sharp angle. Just 1 second left in the shot clock in the corner. Not much Tucker and company can do here.
Yeah, good defense by Lenoir-Rhyne to basically force our first shot clock violation of this game. Adelphi took a couple of really severe angle shots on that possession. So credit the Bears for not giving them a clean look and getting to spots where they can be dangerous.
22nd shot clock violation of the year for Adelphi. Powell and company. 18 games, 37 ground balls. The leader on this Bear team. He's got 30 caused turnovers entering play today. Very aggressive defense. Let's see if the first matchup, just 7-3 way back in February, mirrors what we have here in the title game. It's on the turf and picked up by Adelphi. Nice job from Groom. 18 games for him, starting first close defenseman. Long outlet pass for Eamon Hall across the midfield line. And a successful clear of the box here for the Panthers.
Yeah, this is a Panther team with a number of transfers on their roster. Groom is one of them from UAlbany. And they're making an impact on this program, getting into their first Division II national title opportunity since 2001. And you can see the difference kind of, you know, Lenoir-Rhyne maybe a little bit more disciplined. I'll say Adelphi is aggressive, borderline reckless with the way they go after the ball, but, they play to their styles, and that's what's got them here.
Lewis for Tucker. Lewis, Gordon Purdy told us, loves the game more than anyone he's been around. And he's been at Adelphi a long time. Graduated in 89. He worked at a prep school on the campus there and then got the head coaching job eventually. So he's basically been in Garden City since coming from Australia. It's been a long time. Here's Lewis on the far side. Long possession, 15 to shoot here. Panthers deliberate, can't get a shot on Cates. That's off the pipe. Rung there by Steinbach. And the track down there from Donnellan. And a fresh 60 here for the Panthers.
That was a really nice shot from Steinbach. It had Pansabene solved, rings off the iron, but they're able to corral the rebound. They get a reset, 60 seconds on the shot clock. Long extended possession here for the Adelphi Panthers. This is an opportunity to grind down this Lenoir-Rhyne D.
Here's Horinsky. Coach Purdy told us when he's anywhere near the cage, he'll finish. One of our best in close quarters. Tucker has got it. 11 shots. 3 and 2 for 5. St. Anselm in the semifinals. Trying there for Horinsky. Case in point. And it's ruled right back to Lenoir-Rhyne here.
Adelphi trying to say that's a shot. The official saying no, it was a tip ball or a nice check from Lenoir-Rhyne. So the turnover goes to the Panthers. Nice defensive stand by the Bears.
Victor Powell and the Bears out of Hickory, North Carolina across the midfield line. Evan Voss, 44 points. 21 and 23 for him. Team's second leading scorer. So the numbers, in contrast with D3 Dixie, huge difference. Nobody over 100-plus points than what we had in our first matchup today. Deliberate offenses. So we could see a low-scoring tilt here today. We're about to find out how this unfolds by the Bears.
Well, it's going to be competitive if the first matchup and the way that the seasons have both gone for the Bears and the Panthers. This is going to be a tightly fought contest. Discipline and execution are going to be paramount.
Aguilar thought about a crank instead of pass. 25 to shoot. So clearly the shot clock will be a factor. In our D2 title game today, Aguilar up top, the right-hand cradle.
In Adelphi, that aggressive defense has slipped into a zone.
Voss a pass, stopped. Dylan Renner on one knee. Goal stick stop again there for Adelphi. He's been sharp in the early going in our 1-1 game. Lost the re-trigger, fresh 60 here. Quick stick goal. And LR strikes again. It's Walker. The freshman has his 15th, gathers and hammers. And the Bears back on the board make it 2-1.
Redshirt freshman from Charleston, North Carolina. We talk about the offense being whistle ready. Putting his imprint on this game. Nice feed inside. Walker finds a soft spot in the zone of Adelphi. Nice little cut. And how about the shot placement? Great catch and release. Tucks it under the crossbar. Walker gets Lenoir-Rhyne a lead.
Airborne, face-off. Adelphi tracked out. Hipchin, who will play with the long stick and the short stick off the wing for Gordon Purdy. Helps bring it to the offensive end. And Donnellan, 30th of the year. Freshman from Massapequa. We go through the roster. So many Long Island players from around the Garden City campus for Adelphi.
Yeah, Hipchen has to feel like a fish out of water. He's from Illinois. But he has been great on the faceoff. He's picked up 2 key ground balls with great athleticism, good handle, and he's a guy who looks like he could be a difference maker for this Panther ball club.
2-1 Donnellan, only goal so far. About 5 minutes into the first quarter with 3 to go in the opening frame here. Trail check, good play there, LR. Webster all over it defensively. Shot clock dwindles now under 30 here for the Panthers on this possession. Boko passing, works there for Hall. Donnellan's got it. Defender hung up, hangs out at X for a minute. Here's Tucker. Shot clock at 10. Donnellan makes his move. Logan Tucker, the second for Adelphi. Right-handed blast. Donnellan the pass. He's involved in both Panther goals. We're tied 2-2.
Credit this goal with Braden Donnellan as he is going. Little hesitation move right here. Draws 2 Lenoir-Rhyne defenders, and that frees up Tucker on the far side. And he goes uncontested up the alley and is able to finish. And
What's the celebration? What are they doing there? The celebration?
I don't know, man. I'd be careful. I'd be careful with those kind of things.
You don't like doing that?
They're from Long Island. Hey, listen. They are from Long Island. They're going to have free spirits. They're going to be creative. It's just a matter of how much leash the officials are going to give them
Good point.
They're going to have with the Sellies.
Mancini to Liam Farrell, wing off the face-off, and the Bears have got it right back here, trying to cash in again. Just over 2 to go in our first quarter. We expected this type of tight game. We're getting that. Evan Voss, 44 points, had a goal against Tampa in the semifinals. Will Canada handles here for LR. Familiar name from last year's championship run. The big one over Mercyhurst. Up high, Renner.
Wow.
Saw that somehow. An absolute rocket. As Walker bids for a second in the first quarter, and Renner stood tall and calmly makes a save on a lefty rip.
Well, did you see Renner then stare Walker down?
We'll stare down.
This is an Adelphi team that's coming in with a lot of swag.
The post-goal celebration, even the goalies.
I'm telling you.
A little chip on their shoulder, clearly. Hitchin and company clear to Donlin, and here comes Adelphi again with 1:25 and counting in the first.
I mean, the stare down.
How do you feel about that as a player?
I mean, if I'm doing
it, you okay? Or?
Look, if I'm doing it,
right.
then look, I've got to have a lot of confidence in my game and my defense. But if I'm the one getting it done too, I'm gonna remember that one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna keep that receipt.
Mm-hmm. Keep that receipt. Eamon Hall, back 15 handles here, partner. A minute to go in the first. Here's Hall trying to create an angle. Passing in front. Big stop again. Pensabene with a fantastic stop on the doorstep. Absolute robbery. And the goalies continue to be a story here in the first quarter with 44 seconds and counting to go here.
Yeah, I've been impressed with both. Lefty, one's a lefty in Renner, the right. Pensabene seems to be a little bit more efficient in his movements. I think Renner might be a little bit more athletic in terms of an unorthodox style compared to Pensabene.
Aguilar for Duncan. Duncan, a transfer from Lafayette, Division I in the Patriot League. So in the final moments here, 15 seconds in the first quarter, a tie game. D2 championship at stake. Long-range shot. Renner again, calmly makes the stop. Oh. And another one on the doorstep. 2 great stops for Renner. The second, a spectacular save. And there goes the horn, and that's the first quarter. Renner celebrates for good reason. 2 huge saves to end the first and keep us tied.
I mean, look at that first save is impressive enough, and then look at him get to his feet. The big man is nimble. I just talked about the athleticism, and that's what I'm seeing. He gets up and down with ease and with a lot of dexterity. And if you want to chirp, you go right ahead.
Welcome back. Lincoln Financial Field, home of the Philadelphia Eagles in the fall, but Memorial Day weekend again, home to lacrosse. 3 days, 3 champions. D1 tomorrow. Championship game coming up. D3. Tufts won its 4th title school history. Beat RIT in today's Division III championship game. Here it's Lenoir-Rhyne, head-to-head with Adelphi. Dave Ryan, Mark Dixon, our entire crew. Great to have with us here. Streaming on NCAA.com. Your thoughts, Dixie, of quarter number 1.
Good goaltending, and I'm seeing why this first game was 7-3. Pensabene with a couple nice saves, too. But how about Dylan Renner? I mean, 8 stops. He comes into this game with a 65% save percentage, best in Division II. The good news is he's making those saves. The bad news is if they start to drop, that is going to be trouble for Adelphi.
Holding call, O'Shea Mancini head-to-head to begin the second quarter. And Hipchin will re-trigger here for Adelphi in the home whites. Adelphi, 14-game win streak. LR, 11 in a row. So something's got to give here in the championship game. Kyle Lewis, the sophomore. USILA North Region All-America pick this week. Both teams, plenty of All-Americans. USILA picks that came out just before championship weekend. And Adelphi will get going here. Donilon, 1-1 for 2. The goal scored, and then the feed of Tucker. Hall's shot just off target. Really good cut to the goal, but couldn't quite finish on a lefty one-timer.
Yeah, this Adelphi team moves the ball well. Guys cut well off the ball. So after a steady diet of midfield initiation in the first quarter, looks like the Panthers getting their attack a little bit more involved on the initiation.
Brian Horensky from Massapequa. All the handle. Top of the box. Poked away. Good play defensively. LR. Now the scoop. Now the run out. Outstanding defense. Lenoir-Rhyne. Things unsettled. Pass down low. It's a shot. It's a score for the Bears. Walker's got his second. Camp to the left of the cage. Renner has no chance for his ninth save of the first half. Robbie Walker. It's a hammer. LR 3-2 lead.
The goal starts with the defense of number 34, Landon pocket of the Adelphi midfielder, and then gets it down to Walker. And Walker, he's just got such a calm presence about him. He's from Cumming, Georgia, but he almost looks like a Canadian with the way he handles his stick and the way he shoots. Second goal for Walker.
11 straight games, Walker has scored a goal. We told you about the big semifinal game that he had. 4 goals against Tampa. Face-off win again here for LR. And John Paulus, 64 for 110. Alternate face-off guy for Greg Paradine, the only coach program history at Lenoir-Rhyne in Hickory, North Carolina. We talked about what last year's title meant for recruiting, for branding. Had a great year. Walker handles here outside the box, bringing some new names in, transfers. Plenty of stars back, though, from last year's championship in this very stadium.
Yeah, Paradine, University of North Carolina, won national title under Dave Klarman back in his playing day, and he has really built this Lenoir-Rhyne into the class of D2, defending national champions, looking to get their second consecutive here in Philadelphia.
Jared Huff on the pass from Walker. Shot, score again. It's Kenna. Will Canada, the grad student, has got his 17th. Got free just for an instant. Enough room to bury a righty rip. And Lenoir-Rhyne tacks on another one here in the first half, make it 4-2.
They're starting to get their look. 8 saves by Renner in the first 15 minutes of action. Good motion. And that's just a nice little feed inside from Jarrett Huff. And credit Canetta for keeping his feet moving, getting topside leverage, and whipping it past Renner.
Grad student, Waxhaw, North Carolina, Charlotte area. Face-off win, LR again. And they'll head upfield on a roll here. Give the stick of Powell, the senior, with 4 points. Who told you about the big numbers with GBs and CTs. 30 caused turnovers. So lead the Bear roster heading into Championship Sunday here. Will Canada, big part of the title run last year. Easy win over the Lakers of Mercyhurst in the D2 title game in this stadium. And Lenoir-Rhyne looks a little comfortable. It helps when you win faceoffs. Loss had 4 goals last year in the title game, 42 in the dark jersey. Another returning star from last year. Duncan, the grad student transfer from Lafayette. Aguilar won a title last year. Duncan the sweep. Try to get free with the left hand, cannot. Patient offense here for the Bears. Duncan a hat trick, 3-1 for 4 against Tampa in the semifinals. Aguilar trying to get free. He is. He scores! Tommy Aguilar has another for the Bears. And Lenoir-Rhyne is on a run. Make it 5-2. Bears looking good.
Crowd loves it. Smart lacrosse by Tommy Aguilar. He recognizes the matchup. He's got an offensive midfielder stuck on defense in Kyle Lewis. Lewis lunges. Aguilar runs around him, gets down the alley, and sticks it. That is a wonderful individual effort by Aguilar, and I think right now the experience of Lenoir-Rhyne, having been here before, is really paying off.
Gordon Purdy takes a timeout for Adelphi. 5-2 in the second quarter. Well, the Bears championship game here, Dixie, third time in the last 4 years. Beat Mercyhurst, who we talked about last year. Lost to Lemoyne in a game you and I called on NCAA.com in 2021 in the rain in East Hartford, Connecticut. As they try for another title here. Looking for a back-to-back championship run. Their defense has been outstanding, second in the nation.
Yeah, this is a good group, and they're showing why they are the defending champions. Tied 2-2, and after Adelphi scored a goal, a little extended celebration, and then you've got the goaltender mocking you, talking after he made a save. And, you know, you mentioned what I do. I'm doing what Lenoir-Rhyne's doing right now, putting the ball in the back of the net, putting the ball in the cage. And Adelphi, great story for the Panthers. Their face-off man, Kyle Stark, was going to redshirt this year. And because of the injuries and the woes that they've had at the dot, he's burning that redshirt year to be a part of this run over the last couple weeks to this national championship game. That's how much it means to him in the program. And now the Panthers making an adjustment, facing off with a long pole at the dot, but no success as Lenoir-Rhyne wins another.
Yep, that's a huge issue. Gordon Purdy told us about that. Fitzgerald head-to-head with Paulus, that draw. LR has another face-off win in the dot at midfield. And you're right, that's quite a story. Coach Purdy told them, look, if you play in this one game in the playoffs, you'll lose the entire year of eligibility. And Stark did not hesitate 1 second. He said he wanted to play. Went 7-16 in that game and helped Adelphi get to the championship game here today. It's amazing.
These opportunities don't come along every day. And sometimes you have to look at what's right in front of you versus the long haul. And he made that sacrifice, and his team is glad for it.
Pop passing in front. Renner makes a big save head-to-head there with Dillon. A transfer from High Point going for another tally. Dillon's got it here behind the cage, makes his move. Watched closely by Adelphi's Fitzgerald. What a stop. Kyle Hatcher handles here. He's got 12 and 3 for 15. 2 goals for Hatcher, 0 in the dark jersey against Limestone in the quarterfinals here for Lenoir-Rhyne. Bears have scored 3 straight. Hipchin, the shorty matchup. That pass broken up, and it comes away to Adelphi. Much needed stop for the Panther defense here.
Big time.
Fitzgerald on the move. 49th ground ball of the season for him. Here's a pass. Here's a shot and a score for Herzog. The sophomore in transition for Adelphi. Created by Fitzgerald, sprint upfield, things unsettled. And Herzog has got his 3rd of the year. Adelphi breaks the 3-goal LR streak.
And that's a juice kind of goal. Starts with the save from Renner, good ground ball work, and then in transition. That's a beautiful feed, actually, with the 70 inches of titanium by number 50 in the white. Aiden Fitzgerald hits his teammate on the run. Herzog does the rest, and he pots it past Pensabene to cut this Bear lead down to 2.
First goal, second quarter scored here for Adelphi. Kyle Stark does take the draw. Got the big wrap on his knee. Torn ACL last year, coming all the way back. Really pushed it with team doctors to say that I'm ready to go during the playoffs. And Coach Purdy told us that we had a great chat with Coach this week. He's a fantastic guy. Born in Australia, what a story he is. Just on his own is an amazing human interest story. But he said that Stark and his family talked it over. It was the best thing for he and Adelphi lacrosse to play last week. We're in the semifinals, burn the year of eligibility, and try to get his team to the championship game.
Yeah, the ring is the thing, and if they can come through and win this game, I'm sure it's already been worth it, but it'll just make it that much sweeter. Looks like Adelphi now back into that zone defense, packing it in really tight, trying to confuse and disrupt this Lenoir offense.
Voss crisscrosses there with Robbie Walker. He's been awesome to start the game. So is Aguilar. Duncan gets a shift here. Works to the top of the box. Patient offense here for LR. In no hurry. Up by a couple. 15 on the timer here. Ryan Duncan. Lafayette transfer. 27 and 21 to enter play here today on Championship Sunday. Final moment shot clock cycle. Tipped out of bounds. Really good defense.
Good job by Adelphi. 2 Good defensive stands. One fueled by Renner, and this one fueled by just good discipline, good area coverage, protection, not allowing Lenoir-Rhyne to get a clean look on Cage. They create the turnover.
27 shot clock violations on the year for LR. Longtime coach Greg Paradine, who grew up in the Long Island area, very close to the Adelphi campus, said this week to us that, look, I grew up going to Adelphi games. I know about the players and coaches that came through there. It means a lot to him. We talked about his great career at North Carolina, winning a championship. That plays offsides, and it comes right back to the Bears.
That's a dangerous restart.
Things are unsettled. Here's a one-on-one break. Easy goal for LR. Duncan by himself dunks it in. Ryan Duncan. Easy slam goal. Renner no chance. Another for the Bears to make it 6-3.
Transfer by Lafayette. From Lafayette, I should say. And anytime you have a restart at the midfield line, you've got to beat your feet back into the hole as a defender. Duncan basically just cherry picking behind the play, and when the restart happens, he just gets on his horse, takes the feed, and it's a one-on-one, and he is able to dunk it home and get Lenoir-Rhyne back up by 3.
2 goals, Limestone quarterfinals for Duncan. And we told you about the 3-1 for 4, the hat trick in the semis against Tampa. Wing play, Herzog. His third of the year has come in transition for Adelphi. He's got the lone goal of the second quarter for the Panthers. That's a shorty in transition and fast break lacrosse. So the settled offense has not been effective second quarter for the Panthers so far.
And they haven't enjoyed a ton of possession time either due to the face-off disparity. So this is an Adelphi team that's just going to have to chip away. They're going to have to be really smart with the ball, really efficient with their touches, good shooting, because they know they're going to have to play some defense on the other end in order to stay in this game.
Horinsky passing. Tucker shot way off the mark. He is backed up by Braden Donelon. Donelon 1-1 for 2. Tucker's got one of the goals scored by Adelphi so far. Kyle Lewis, 49 points on the year. They're going to need a lot of people to step up against what looks like a brick wall type defense from Lenoir-Rhyne. Pass, quick tick, try, errant, picked up, LR on the move. Chance here for the Bears in transition. Working in front, picked off. Big play for Adelphi at the last second. Butler got there with his 16th caused turnover, basically on one knee. He makes a really nice read, and Renner and company will clear upfield here.
Yeah, that was a terrific play by number 12 in white, Ryan Butler. Beautiful pickoff. That was going into the stick of Walker, who we've seen with that lefty offering has been very good finding the back of the net. So those are the kind of plays that Adelphi is going to have to repeatedly make to keep this Lenoir-Rhyne lead down to 3.
Steinbach, Horinsky working the offensive end. Lewis up top has got it. Kyle Lewis thinking about a split dodge. Long stick matchup. Here's Lewis trying to get free. Balls on the ground. Now anyone's ball. Push, hold, called, and Adelphi will keep it. Lewis back 15 on the retrigger.
Yeah, Lewis is the focal point in the midfield of this Adelphi offense, the party starter, but he has been really, really hampered by Nate Ashley, number 8 in black for the Lenoir-Rhyne Bears, doing a wonderful job on Lewis.
Back 15, Donelon gets that pick there near X. Handle for Tucker. Halfway through the shot clock cycle for Adelphi. Tucker goes high, he scores! Logan Tucker response, much needed for Adelphi. Post-goal celebration for the Panthers, make it 6-4.
Yeah, Tucker's impressive. I like the way he uses the crease. We saw in the first quarter him using, teaming with Donelon to use the crease as almost a defender, almost like a pick. And on this occasion, he's at X behind the cage, and he is just going to speed because, for whatever reason, 2 Lenoir-Rhyne Bears go with Donelon, thinking he's going to get the ball. And they leave Tucker all by his lonesome. He just creeps above goal line extended and slips it near post past Pensabene.
USLA North Region All-American. Tucker a big one. Big face-off here. Comes to the far side near the penalty box area.
Oh.
It does get to the sideline. And LR will have possession here. A pretty good contested ball by Fitzgerald. Had a really good game. The transfer from SUNY Brockport. He does it all. With a long stick, he'll face off for Coach Purdy. 21 of 70 entering play here today. Face-off is not a strength, no question about that.
Well, and that's unfortunate because that was a great getting him out of bounds, but Fitzgerald doing everything he can to get the Panthers some possession time.
Canada's got one already. Handles here top of the box. Little hidden ball trick we saw a moment ago. Passing to Huff. Impressive young player for LR. Canada cranks. Never got there. Renner on one knee. Was hoping that would get blocked by the defense. And Dylan Renner way out of the cage to the back line in some trouble. Almost shoved out of bounds. At the last second, the outlet pass for Adelphi.
Yeah, I like Renner out of the goal. Kept his head about him. Nice and patient. Soaked the checks. I mean, that's what you get out of a senior in this situation. Even though it's the first time the Panthers have been on this big stage, he does not seem blinded by the lights at all, and he has played a really good first half thus far.
O'Shea Company clear across the midfield line. Boko, the sophomore from East Islip, Long Island. Handles here in the back 15. So, 2-goal game. Lenoir-Rhyne, you feel like Dixie in a lot of categories has been dominant, but it's only a 2-goal spread right now. Boko passing this time. Donnellan makes that shake move at X. Boko on a bounce. Regains for Adelphi, but can't find an angle to shoot. 25 on the timer. Really good half-field defense. Lenoir-Rhyne again. Whistler ripped off Cades that time by Steinbach. Grad student, Garden City, New York, right there near the Adelphi campus. Retrigger for Donnellan. Steinbach, split dodge move outside the right alley. Adelphi patient again here, but 4 to shoot. Final moment, shot clock cycle. Tucker trying to create. There's the horn, and there's the shot clock violation against the Panthers.
Yeah, I don't think they recognize it. They didn't do a good job of managing that late shot clock as it trickled down. So credit that Lenoir-Rhyne defense. They're bigger than this Adelphi offense physically, and they're using that size to their advantage, especially on that last defensive stand.
Pennsylvania goaltender, Lenoir-Rhyne, second-team All-American. Third in Division II, 7.8 goals against average entering play here today. 5th in save percentage. So big season between the pipes for Coach Paradine in Hickory, North Carolina. He's been good here so far. Couple saves to his credit. That shot off target beyond the reach of Renner and backed up by LR.
Yeah, kisses off the crossbar, so that'll give them a 60-second shot clock reset.
Voss for Aguilar. They'll reset here. With 3 to go in the first half, leading by 2. The Division II title at stake. That ball's on the turf. Taken away, Adelphi trying to find a clean ground ball. And grabbing that is Groom. Transfer from Albany. Division I level in America East Conference. And an opportunity to clear up field here for Adelphi. It's on the move. Durnan, 6-foot pole, passing, stop, Pensabene. Makes a big stop, big save, head-to-head with Hall. From about 6-7 yards out. I mean, Hall has a good look, and Pensabene is one step better.
Yeah, Eamon Hall, his father Doug Hall, another North Carolina Tar Heel before Greg Paradine's time, but that's a big stop if you are Pensabene making that save. Hall wishes he could have that one back. I mean, that would have been a gigantic goal to get because this Adelphi defense, the last couple of sequences, I like their sticks. Very active, and they're very fundamentally sound, getting stick in the gloves, disrupting the feeding and transfer motion of this Lenoir-Rhyne offense.
Jared Huff works for Robbie Walker. Both have been effective weapons for the Bears here in the first half. Minute 45 and counting to go here for Jared Huff. Skip pass, work for Canada. He's got one already. Huff free. One more pass, Aguilar. Up top. Fake, shot, ripped wide.
That was great offense by Lenoir-Rhyne. That was terrific, snappy ball movement. But credit Renner as he dives behind his crease.
Closest to it.
He wins, quote unquote, the jump to the end line to get possession for his team. So I've been impressed with Lenoir-Rhyne's ball movement. That was a clean look. It was off cage, but Renner again continues to excel between the pipes for this Adelphi defense.
Cleared by Hipchin and company across the midfield line. Gordon Purdy wants a timeout here, partner, with 1:10 to go in the first half from Lincoln Financial Field in Philly. LR, 2 goals, Robbie Walker on 5 shots. 2 goals for Logan Tucker for Adelphi. He is 2 for 3 shooting. And that's part of our really close game here. 6-4, final moments first half. A little more Dixie on Adelphi. Some of their key numbers trying for another championship. Great tradition for a long time on Long Island.
I mean, you think about, I grew up watching Adelphi lacrosse vis-a-vis UMBC, being from Catonsville, Maryland. My father used to take me and my brother over to UMBC when they used to battle with the Panthers for Division II supremacy back in the real early 80s. And this program back on track under Gordon Purdy. You can look at their defense. I mean, we've seen it here today. Renner is outstanding. Their defense only gives up just over 7 goals a game. Their man-down unit is fantastic. And they had to beat St. Anselm's not once, not twice, but 3 times during the course of this 2024 season, including last weekend's national semifinal. So it's hard to win games one time against an opponent, let alone 2 or 3. Give a lot of credit to head coach Gordon Purdy and his Panther ball club.
14 straight wins. Their last loss to Rollins on March 9th. And no losses since. Beat Pace, beat St. Anselm. Each time scoring 14 goals. I'm not sure they get up to 14 today. The way this game is going, defensive-minded to be sure. Off the timeout. We'll see what Coach Purdy and his staff have in mind here just over a minute to go first half.
One thing I like, and this is not throwing shade, I like the fact that number 6, Kyle Lewis, is not on the field. They've tried to initiate with him repeatedly today, and they just haven't had a lot of success. So I'm interested to see how Adelphi can come out of a timeout without being too predictable.
Roboto, Boko, exchange places in the back 15 here. Here's Boko, getting close to X. Time ticks away. You can see the shot clock, game clock differential. 23 to shoot. Adelphi in no hurry here. Donnellan on a great first half, trying to get free. Sharp angle. Penta being sought all the way. And the rebound attempt is sent wide from Hansen, and it's out of bounds back to Lenoir-Rhyne.
Yeah, they're trying to shorten the game, which I have no problem with, being judicious and trying to get something before halftime. And not a bad shot, just sails wide a little bit. We'll see if Lenoir-Rhyne can make something happen.
Final moments. Victor Powell, senior defenseman. Pensabine trying to bring across the midfield line for the defending champs. There's the horn. There's the half here from Philly. 30 minutes complete, halfway home. Division II National Championship. And second seeded defending titleist Lenoir-Rhyne, a 6-4 lead on Adelphi. Dixie, your thoughts of the first half here?
Both goaltenders have been really good. Both defenses are outstanding. We've seen Lenoir-Rhyne control the faceoffs. They got up 6-3, and you thought it was danger zone time for Adelphi. They were able to answer to cut it to a 2-goal lead. It's anybody's ball game in the next 30 minutes.
Each team, multi-goal scorer. It's been tight. Fun to watch here from the link in Philly. Welcome back, Lincoln Financial Field. Dave Bryan, Mark Dixon, our entire crew. Light rain has been falling on and off. We do have some news about the D1 title game, Dixie, tomorrow. It's been moved to noon Eastern, so shifted back an hour for the D1 championship due to some severe weather on the way. Had some great lacrosse here, D2 style, in the first half. Let's break down these numbers.
Yeah, Lenoir-Rhyne doubling up the shots on Adelphi because of their work at the face-offs. You know, the turnovers, has been a relatively clean game, but you can see Lenoir-Rhyne's pressure has created some turnovers against Adelphi, and they're going to have to take better care of the ball. You know, I've been very impressed with Renner, the goaltender, for this, for this Adelphi team. 10 saves in the first 30 minutes of action. So we've got ourselves a ball game. And I think Adelphi, if you look at these stats and you feel the vibe of this game, they probably feel fortunate to only be down by 2 scores.
No penalties first half, no EMO opportunities for either side here. 6-4 is the score. Lenoir-Rhyne second seed over top seeded Adelphi. Division II national championship is on the line, as we talked about before the break. Robbie Walker 2 for 5 shooting, 2 goals for Lenoir-Rhyne, so he's the multi-goal scorer for the Bears. Let's check out our highlights. Half number 1 here, Dixie.
Yeah, it started out Pensabene with a clean save to get things going, and then Renner. How about this sequence? 1-2 punch, but then Walker started finding his shooting stroke for this Lenoir-Rhyne Bear team. A lot of youth on display in this game. Some freshmen scoring, but number 0, Logan Tucker, he's a senior. He's made an impact on this contest. Again, it's face-offs are key, possessions are critical, and Adelphi, can they get enough touches? And can they be disciplined enough to penetrate this Lenoir-Rhyne defense and figure some things out? That was a timely goal for Lenoir-Rhyne off of a fast restart, being whistle ready 30 minutes before we crown a champion.
Last tally from Ryan Duncan. He transferred from Lafayette. Fast break lacrosse there for LR. And a 6-4 lead at the break. Tucker 2 or 3 shooting, the multi-goal scorer for Adelphi in half number 1. Donlin had a great start. As the only assist of the first half for Adelphi. Make that Fitzgerald, too, has got a helper. So he's 1 of 1 for 2 on 2 shots through 30 minutes of play. Lenoir-Rhyne trying for its second ever title and second in a row after winning title number 1 here on this field against Mercyhurst last year in D2. Adelphi trying for its 8th Division II national championship, but first since 2001. It's been a minute on Garden City, trying to get another national championship. So 30 more minutes. Going to be fun to watch this one unfold. Do you expect a low-scoring second half as well?
That's kind of the identity of this rivalry, if you will, or this competition between Adelphi and Lenoir-Rhyne. If anyone's going to run away with it, quote-unquote, it would be Lenoir-Rhyne would probably have the more opportunity with the, if the face-offs go the way that they did in the first half. But if Renner can continue to stand on his head, this Adelphi team certainly has a chance to win that trophy.
First matchup. Gordon Purry told us this week in our very interesting conversation with the Adelphi head coach, you hold a team to 7 goals, you should win. But the LR defense was even better that day. So here we are, Memorial Day weekend, final game of the season, Division II, final half of 2024 in D2. Which team will take home the trophy and win the national championship? We're about to find out from Philly. Overcast and thunderstorms are in the area. Face-off one, Mancini charging upfield. And thought about a quick stick try, but instead passing off to the wing and Farlow. And the grad student LSM will head off field here for offensive-minded players.
And it definitely feels like it's cooled off a little bit as some type of system is around us or moving in. So that'll behoove the top-line players maybe getting more run, more burn here in the second half.
Voss for Aguilar. And LR gets it set up here. Pass in front comes all the way through. Renner. Quick with a goal stick to his left. Bolts out. Hipchin and company here will bring up field on a clear attempt. So good half-field defense out of the gates to begin the second half. Lewis trying to avoid a time violation. Sprints across the midfield line and will help organize a clear here for Adelphi with Horinsky, who plays in the first and second midfield for Coach Purdy's team.
Yeah, let's see what Adelphi cook up. Any halftime adjustments in terms of where they want to initiate their attack from. They didn't really have much success dodging out of the midfield.
Horinsky, nursing major at Adelphi. Lewis, shot stop. Pensabene saw it through a screen, and somehow enough of the goal stick to make a really nice save. Tested to begin the second half.
Well, that's the first opportunity. Lewis has really gotten his hands free. That was a decent shot. Pensabene, a very efficient goaltender. Much different than Renner. Not nearly as animated. Doesn't jump around the cage as much. But he is an effective netminder, making his 5th save.
Parker helped clear across the midfield line from Holly Springs, North Carolina. Now Voss and company will get it set up here in the half field. Kason Dillon, transfer high point, gets a shift here for the Bears. Time for another goal here to extend the lead. 6-4 lead at halftime. It was 2-2 at the end of the first quarter. That's been a really tightly contested game so far. Dillon, Canada, 28 to shoot. Work to X. Canada's got one in the game so far. Lefty shot. Rip score. Jared Huff. Lefty blast. Just got enough room to get the hands free. First goal, second half goes to the Bears, make it 7-4.
Good motion for this Lenoir-Rhyne offense, keeping it hot, keeping the ball movement crisp. Rotating off kilter, and I like how Huff takes this pass and just keeps his feet moving. Little hitch move, no contact on his arms, wrist, no disruption to the shooting motion, and Huff is able to solve Renner.
Game-winning goal against Tampa semifinals for Huff with 2:40 to go in the fourth quarter. It was late. Sealed the deal for the Bears to get them this far. Mancini trying to win the face-off at the dot midfield successfully. And we'll get that to his teammate. Good job off to Patrick Salo. Short stick defensive midfielder off the wing. It's right back to Voss and company here offensively for the Bears.
There we can see number 4, Michael D'Alessandro, a Massapequa native, coached by Scott Malika. In his younger days, one of my teammates at Johns Hopkins used to rip my arms off at practice on a daily basis.
Remember that, do you?
Oh, I do. We used to make a deal. He'd be like, hey, you don't run around, I don't rip your arms off. I said, I don't know if I can accommodate you.
Coach Purdy told us D'Alessandro is a top cover guy. Looking to match up with Tucker in practice on a daily basis. Another All-American for Adelphi. Sharp angle blast off target. Light rain continues to fall here. That's from Bender. Team's 4th leading scorer for the Bears. 33 points entering Championship Sunday.
So it'll be interesting to see how the rain affects the sticks. If it, it hasn't been a saturating rain and it just started, so not sure the sticks will be tough.
Whoa. Pass in front. Quick stick goal. It's Powell. Able to pull the trigger on the doorstep. Just like that, it's in the net for LR. Powell and company, 2 goals to begin scoring second half. 8-4 Bears.
Not a good start for Adelphi. A perfect start for Lenoir-Rhyne. Mistake. Donovan Powell is just in the middle of this Adelphi defense, unaccounted for. And by the time the recognition happens, it's way too late. Nice little no-look pass. Powell catches it, uses the earth. High bouncers will go. Bears have doubled up the Panthers.
A minute 11, Dixie between goals. Voss the helper. Mancini face-off win. Here comes LR again. Farlow with a long stick. Quick shot, goes high. Renner on one knee. He went low, thought the shot would be there. Stewart with a blast, and Renner had to really reach up. 5'11" frame, just got enough of that one, but it's picked. Quick interception, Voss. He gets stripped. Flag flies. First penalty of the game is coming here. 2 flags are down. Stephen D'Amicus, the sophomore from Islip Terrace, Long Island, is going to be the guilty party as the rain really picks up here. And EMO on the way for the Bears.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate because Renner made a scintillating save. Guessed low, got his stick high, but then gave it right back And actually, I thought Adelphi did a nice job of getting into the hole and limiting what could have been a slam dunk goal by the Lenoir-Rhyne Bears. It was Evan Voss. And then you really didn't have to have that takedown. Probably could have done better to been a little bit more disciplined. But, hey, he thought that Voss was immediate threat. Jackson from the back. And the Lenoir-Rhyne Bears will have a man advantage for up to 30 seconds.
47% EMO efficiency, Dixie. 6-on-5. Voss will trigger here. Had the assist in the last goal scored by Donovan Powell to make it 8-4. Both tallies second half have belonged to Lenoir-Rhyne, the defending champs in Division II. So the man-up opportunity, first of our championship game here. Voss handles. Aguilar, champ last year for Voss. Time, works inside. Renner went low, made a really nice save. Head-to-head with Powell, bidding for another one. Quick stick attempt, little no-look. Right-handed shot went low. And Dylan Renner up to the task.
That was a slick feed inside, a nice handle by Powell. Renner continues to dazzle between the pipes for this Adelphi Panther team. He's a big reason why they're only down by 4.
11 saves. Dylan Renner in the game here today. 5-on-6. They'll try to kill the rest of the penalty here, and we'll do that with Hipchin. So Lewis and company have got it right back here. You get the feeling, Dixie, slow start offensively for Coach Purdy's team. They need a goal right here, create some momentum, right?
Yeah, you really need to get something going. And it's the little things. And a little thing like that clear by number 27, Ryan Durnan, long stick midi out of Massapequa, soaking some pressure, showing some discipline. I almost thought that the Adelphi coaches are going to have to take a timeout to preserve possession, but Durnan did a nice job to get it out of harm's way. We'll see if his offense can capitalize.
Yeah, they need that for sure. Work behind the cage. Tucker has got it. Handles here the right-hand cradle in the back 15. Shot clock dwindles. Tucker in a big first half. 2 goals for Adelphi. 10 seconds to shoot. Steinbach can't find the handle. Here's Lewis here in the final moments. Flag is down, though. Slow whistle penalty flag down against Lenoir-Rhyne. Lewis a blast as the timer goes off and no goal is called on Kyle Lewis's shot. It's after the timer. Here comes the call. And a legal body check is on the way.
Yeah, we'll see Lewis winning a matchup, but the shot was just a little too late. I'm looking for the signal from the official. I wasn't able to discern what the call was from our vantage point. But that was my question as the shot clock was dwindling for Adelphi. Who can win a matchup? You know, who is someone that can get some separation? And Lewis has shown twice now with that right-handed sweep that he is able to do that. But now this is a prime opportunity for Adelphi to chip away at this 4-goal Lenoir-Rhyne lead.
33% EMO efficiency. Raymond Hall handles up top. Spin move there. Boko. Donald was effective in the first half. That pass is beyond the reach of Steinbach, though. Goose ahead. Good play, Adelphi, to keep the play alive.
Heady play by Ryan Butler, getting to the midfield line to keep it from the over and back violation.
Horinsky passing on the far side. Rebound sent just off cage. 2 chances, Tucker. Then he's in the crease. And it goes right back to LR here. Great opportunity for Logan Tucker. Not once, but twice for the hat trick.
Well, and we've seen some great goaltending by Renner. How about Pensabene?
Wow.
Sliding into home plate across the parking lot from Citizen Bank Park, where the Phillies get the job done. And that gets the Lenoir-Rhyne crowd fired up. They're cheering their goaltender on with a beautiful save.
He's got 6 stops. Rain has stopped for now. And we're back to even strength lacrosse here. No rush for Voss and company, up by 4. Canada, the grad student, champ last year. 1 goal already. Championship Sunday here. Slide comes, double team. He's pushed down. Canada lost the handle, taken away by Adelphi. Good play, Herzog. Scored a goal. Transition, first half. Starts this one. Hall shot just off target. Heyman Hall had a really good look, and the lefty blast went for the far pipe. And it's backed up by Braden Donnellan.
Yeah, Herzog with his tough play. I thought it was a good no call as Herzog just got the Lenoir-Rhyne offensive player down on the ground. Missed opportunity in that transition set right there for Adelphi. They could have benefited if they could have sunk that one, because they have really, really struggled in the 6-on-6 set.
Tucker 2 for 5 shooting. Donovan passing. Big blast shot score, Horinsky. Lefty hammer from 10 yards out. Much needed for Adelphi. Their first goal of half number 2. 8-5 game.
Lenoir-Rhyne hasn't made many mistakes defensively in this game, but this creates offense for Adelphi. Donovan with the rollback, he really has not beaten his defender, but the slide off of Horinsky creates that uneven situation where he can just step in and deliver a lefty bomb past Pensabene. Nice goal. Big one for Adelphi to cut it to 3.
Gordon Purdy told us this week, with time and space, he is an awesome shooter, and Horinsky takes advantage there. O'Shea face-off win. And an opportunity one more time here for the guys in white.
Looks like that was Nick O'Shea taking that face-off, listed as a short stick D midi. So Adelphi using some different personnel at the dot to try to win some possessions.
5 different players entering Championship Sunday, Dixie, had taken at least one face-off this year.
When you're at 33%,
yeah,
I'm surprised.
You have to try a lot of dudes, right?
The equipment manager hasn't taken a turn or two.
All right, back on possession. Shot ripped off target. Steinbach tries for another goal here. Horinsky tallying. Assist from Donnellan. He's got 2 helpers in the game. And right back to Adelphi and Boco. East Islip, Long Island. No confidence, pep in the step for Horinsky and company. 6.5 to go in the third. Horinsky has the pick. The bounce shot, he scores! Brian Horinsky. Back-to-back jacks for Adelphi. Room and space. And the lefty hammer off the grass. 2 straight Adelphi. It's an 8-6 game.
I like how Adelphi took advantage of the short stick matchups. Lewis, number 6 in white, is going to keep a pole occupied. And the pick game right here. The pick and the re-pick, and just miscommunication between the 2 shorties for Lenoir-Rhyne. You got to give a lot of credit to number 28 in white, Ryan Boco, setting those picks, creating confusion, and getting Horinsky topside.
11-16. LR face-off dominant so far. Mancini's got this one. 12th face-off win at the dot at midfield. And the pass almost beyond the reach there. Teammate McCracken. Short stick defensive midfielder. 18 games for him. 28 grounders and 10 CTs. Shorty for Coach Perrine's team.
Yeah, D2, short stick defensive midi of the year.
Impressive.
And he was off the field on that last sequence. So good job for Adelphi recognizing that their number one, the best in the business, was not in the game, and they took advantage of his 2 understudies.
Voss to Dillon. Voss second team All-American, D2 this year. Each team plenty of USILA All-American picks. Upset a big game today. Works there for Canada. Trying for another title in 2024. 2-goal spread, though. Back-to-back jacks. Scored there by Horinsky. And Adelphi, that shot drifts off target. Back up from Walker. So new game again here. Neither team can take a stranglehold and take a big lead. That pass through traffic. That's a pass, not a shot. It will stay in play, though.
And maybe the rain that came down slowed this track down a little bit.
Voss passing. Shot score. Voss the feed. And a big finish. 46. It's Huff, who's got another one. Lefty blast for Jared Huff. What a cross-crease pass. And what a goal. It's another for LR today.
Mother Nature. And errant passes like the one that Lenoir-Rhyne had has been skipping out of bounds, but because the surface is a little wetter, the grass is a little grabbier, and the ball stays in bounds, and Lenoir-Rhyne takes full advantage. The feed, cross cage to Jarrett Huff. The nice finish. Voss with good vision. Adelphi seemed to relax a little bit there, and losing that focus cost them another goal.
Huff, 2-1 on 2 shots. Voss has assists, back-to-back goals here. Great play on a check, the D-stick. That was a fantastic effort. Looked like Donnellan, who was helping out on the face-off win. It appeared there for Mancini and LR, but Lewis and company have it right back. Tremendous effort.
Yeah, Herzog was right in the middle of that. The helicopter at the penalty box.
What a play.
Landing on Lincoln Financial Field.
Fantastic effort. Here's Boko, back 15 to the far side GLE. There's McCracken, the matchup on him, the shorty of the year, as Dixie talked about in D2. Lewis, can he get going? So after the Horinsky back-to-back goals, response. Shot up top. Steinbach got another one. There's the celebration. Kyle Steinbach, the Hofstra transfer from Division I, had the room and the righty rip. Response, Panthers.
Adelphi starting to get production out of this midfield. We've seen Horinsky with 2 goals, and now we got Steinbach. Named Colton McCracken. And I like this righty sweep that Adelphi, they start the offense behind the cage on the other side of the field, then they switch fields and use that righty sweep to gain leverage, and those worm-burning shots are causing the Lenoir-Rhyne goaltender all kinds of trouble.
Face off, on a bounce. LR's got it. Paulus takes the draw this time. Pass back to the defense. Dangerous. Almost thrown away. Powell, 6-foot Paulus got it. Now Pensabine and company try to clear up field. Steinbach, as Gordon Purdy told us this week, has been around the block. Started his career at Providence College. Didn't go well there. Faced some health issues with some illnesses. And then went to Hofstra. 3rd stop Adelphi. And a big goal here on Championship Sunday to bring his Panthers to within 2. It's a game changer. Aguilar feeds. Doorstep. Renner stop. Somehow the shutdown. Evan Voss had a great point-blank attempt.
Renner's been big all game long, keeping Adelphi in this game. And now the midfield for the Panthers gaining some confidence. Lewis back on the field. Horinsky, so Adelphi in this 3rd quarter shortening their bench, leaning heavily into the first midfield unit, the top line.
Spin shot, score, Boko, wow. An absolute blast. Steinbach, it's Steinbach who got free. An absolute cannon. The spinorama shot. And how about Adelphi with the response? That was something.
This midfield unit entering the field like they're the Peaky Blinders, just with swagger and confidence. And that is nothing fancy. It's just a dodge down the alley and a rollback. And the ball is out of his stick before he finishes. And that just had a ton of pepper into the near top corner. This is an Adelphi team that was dead to rights down 8-4, and now they're soaring with confidence.
Steinbach preseason first-team All-American. Right back, though. A quick shot stop. Renner on the doorstep. Another big save with Powell head-to-head, who had a great look off the face-off. Things were unsettled quickly with face-off wins. And that's one issue when you lose so many face-offs if you're Adelphi. Boko and company with the box, and they'll set up here in the offensive end. Steinbach with an absolute spinorama hammer.
And here comes that first midfield again. And 14 saves now for Renner. And the big thing about them is even the regular mundane save, he makes it with pizzazz. And that gets his bench fired up. That gets his teammates fired up. This is an Adelphi team with a lot of riz.
Here's Lewis offensive end. Shorty matchup, Kyle Lewis. Horinsky back-to-back goals, and then Steinbach back-to-back jacks. Boko has got it. Here's the sweep. Lefty shot on the way. Ripped off target. Backed up by Braden Donnellan.
Well, now Lenoir-Rhyne, you're the defending champions. You've been here before. You didn't experience this last year. I mean, they waxed Mercyhurst. How do you respond? Starts with a defensive stop right here. Their goaltender Pensabine, after making his best save of the game, has been lit up for a couple in a row. How do they respond?
14 saves. Renner so far has been awesome. Shot off target, not by much by Horinsky. He made it 8-5 and 8-6, and then Steinbach back-to-back goals for 9-7, 9-8. 7 to shoot. That was not on cage. Now this Adelphi possession in the final moments of the third quarter. Rain is stopped. Logan Tucker, far side, re-triggers, speed dodge. Not much on that one at the end of the shot clock cycle. As he got decked, hit hard on the play by LR's defense. Victor Powell was all over him.
I don't mind a go to goal there, right? Mm-hmm. You know, he tried, 5 seconds left, and he ended up shooting it into the corner where it would have gone anyhow had he just chucked it along the end line. So good defensive stand from Lenoir-Rhyne. That's just what they needed to maybe settle down a little bit, and they're going to try to reestablish and gain the momentum back with this offensive thrust.
Far low for Voss. Offensive end here for Powell. They'll operate. Sharp angle shot just off target there from Case and Dillon. A high point transfer. Minute 13 to go in the third quarter here. Steinbach goals a minute 10 seconds apart. After Huff and Powell had scored about the same to begin the third quarter scoring for the Bears here. Similar scoring spurts by each team. Interesting. Case and Dillon. Bull dodge, righty shot off target. Wide to the right of Dylan Leonard is backed up by LR here, 28 to shoot. About 54 seconds left in the third. Re-trigger for Voss. Alessandro, top defensive player for Gordon Purdy, has the 6-foot pole matchup. The Picket X. Up with him, might have been broken in half. I think it was.
6-on-5. Quickly, oh wow.
Can't play without a stick.
Didn't have a quick restart, so Adelphi benefits. They able to match up.
Voss, Canada. Final second shot clock cycle here, and it's thrown into the corner by Voss and out of play.
Now you can definitely feel and see the shift in momentum going from the Lenoir-Rhyne side of things to Adelphi. Can the Panthers even this thing up before the end of the third quarter? Punt return. Looked like Shady McCoy breaking through a hole.
Going back there in Eagles history, huh?
I can't remember. Yeah, how about this for an Eagle punt return?
I bet you give me Raven stuff.
Vi Sekahema.
Here's Lewis. Final seconds of the quarter. Lewis trying to get loose. Cannot shut down nicely. Good defense there from Ashley. Two-time All-American, honorable mention in D2 the last 2 years. And Pennsylvania and company have a 1-goal lead. 1 quarter to go here in Philly. Greg Paradine, the only head coach in the history of Lenoir-Rhyne lacrosse, told us Dixie this week that the experience last year, the win over Mercyhurst in the D2 title game, really will help keep the Bears calm and keep their heads when it comes to pressure moments, which we have right now beginning the fourth quarter here in Philly.
They're going to have to tap into that experience because Adelphi is playing with a ton of swagger and a ton of confidence. But, I mean, let's look at Lenoir-Rhyne's last 4 games, really. Wingate, double overtime win, 11-10. Limestone, 13-12. Then another Limestone in the SAC championship game, 15-13. And then they had to outlast Tampa, a really talented Spartan team that won a national title just a couple years ago themselves, 15-14. So this is a pressure-tested, battle-tested Lenoir-Rhyne team, and they're not going to back down for this challenge.
Lenoir-Rhyne was down, partner, in that game at Tampa, 10-7 at halftime in the national semifinals. Now the sun is back out here in Philly. Rain is a thing of the past, and the violation, Matt Palem says, Lenoir-Rhyne will have possession to begin the fourth quarter.
Withholding call. And that was Stephen Baer taking that face off, so we could see the Panthers using a number of faces at the dot.
Aguilar sprints off the bench. Here's Duncan, the sweep. Thought about a lefty shot. Crisscrossing. Here's Aguilar. Works to the near side. Right alley. First possession of the fourth quarter. Everything at stake here in Philly. A D2 national championship on the line. Good cut, Voss, off ball. Pass one off his leg, though, and 44 to shoot here on the timer. Tommy Aguilar, 12-7 for 19, entering championship Sunday here. Timer at 30. Seen a few shot clock violations so far in the game today. Good trail check, and Renner finds the loose change. Shot from Hatcher was broken up and never really got to the Panther cage with any mustard.
Yeah, that was a really nice pick set up top by Lenoir-Rhyne. They couldn't take advantage of the shot. And Renner is just so comfortable. I mean, he's just so poised back there. The last line of defense for the Adelphi Panther defense. And we'll see if the Panthers can draw even here. Big possession. Lenoir-Rhyne up 9-8. You mentioned it. We've got 13 minutes and 20 seconds to figure this one out.
Horinsky had a couple. Steinbach had two. Adelphi outscored the Bears 4-3 in the third quarter, but still down by one entering the fourth. Tufts won the D3 title. Here's Lewis, a righty shot. Pipe. An absolute hammer. A laser beam. Pensabene didn't know where that was. Got some iron, looked like.
A smart move by Lewis. He feasted on that short stick matchup. I still think the pipes are shaking from him ringing that off the crossbar.
Wow. Boko has got it. Shorty matchup on him. Head-to-head with Landon Parker's had a really good game from his shorty spot for the Bears so far today. Here's Donnellan. Great start offensively. Lost his footing for a moment. 30 to shoot. Braden Donnellan changing direction. Stop Pensabene. Made the spin. Made the shot. Stop there. Outlet pass. Farrell into the offensive end. Here's Parker. Shot just off target. As he went with a little crossover backhand attempt. And it's over the crossbar, out of play, backed up by LR.
That was a gigantic save from Pensabene. He did a great job. Donnellan with that inside roll. Pensabene just hugged the near post, made himself bigger, and comes up with a box.
Last year, 18 wins, Lenoir-Rhyne. That was a school record. This year, Dixie's 17 victories. So wouldn't it be sweet to finish out with a back-to-back championship run and equal the all-time school record for victories in the season at the same time? 9-8 game here. Timeout called by Gordon Purdy a moment ago.
No doubt. Lenoir-Rhyne looking to make history again. You win one championship, you're pretty darn good. You win two, you become a legend. And they're looking to repeat. But they're going to have to beat the Division II Player of the Year if they want to secure that national championship. Dylan Renner is living up to the hype. 15 saves on the afternoon. And this is a big defensive opportunity for this Adelphi Panther ball club. 12-18 left to go. You know, Lenoir-Rhyne, they just have those great lefty shooters. Huff, Walker. What will they cook up out of this stoppage in play, out of this timeout to get a clean look on Renner?
Renner, Coach Purdy told us this week he knew he was the D2 Player of the Year, but didn't want to give it away at practice until it became official. He had to keep it quiet for a couple days.
Oh, of course.
That's not easy to do when you're the head coach and your goalie is the National Player of the Year. It's pretty awesome.
Well, especially from Long Island. It's a tough time to keep that under your hat.
Huff, sweep, try. Aguilar makes his move. Push to near side GLE. LR patient here on this possession. 1 goal lead and about 50 seconds to shoot. Kevin Voss, team's second leading scorer. Gets the pick from Huff. Changing direction. About 30 on the timer. That's lost. Turned over. Beyond the reach there of Sloan Stewart, the freshman. And at the end line, a miscue, and Hipchin and company will re-trigger here.
You got to like the adjustment out of that timeout. Adelphi came out in a man-to-man, and they seemed to throw Lenoir-Rhyne off with their pressure. That's not easy for an offense. If you have faced a zone consistently throughout a game, therefore you're not being really challenged or chased or harassed. And by changing up the speed of that last defensive stand and therefore changing the tempo of Lenoir-Rhyne's offense leads to that turnover.
Lewis 0 for 4 shooting. Maybe the star midfielder gets going on this Adelphi possession. Looking for his first point of Championship Sunday. The two Kyles are so important, Coach Purdy told us. Horinsky handles here. Shorty matchup. Horinsky's got a couple second half free. A shot, scores! Making a hat trick in the second half for Brian Horinsky. Just the one step he needed. And the bouncer beats Pensabene. And guess what? We're tied, not apiece in Philly.
Yeah, we talked in the first half about the lack of winning a matchup, especially out of the midfield for this Adelphi team. And boy, have they come to play here in the second half. The sweeps from the right-hand side had been going, and now the lefty sweep. Horinsky just gets a step, and they love shooting that low-to-low offering, that worm burner, that shot where the ball just hugs the turf and goes into the Lenoir-Rhyne net. Say that fast.
Not easy.
5 or 6 times.
Not easy. It's tough out here. Second half hat trick, Horinsky. That's awfully big. And Dixie, we're tied for the first time since it was 2-2 after the first here in Philly. Fourth quarter, all the marbles to the winner to take home the D2 title.
And you just felt like when this score got, what, 9-5? Was it 9-5, 9-6? You just felt like Lenoir-Rhyne was ready to put this thing away. And now they have a failure to advance. All the momentum is on the side of the precocious Adelphi Panthers. They have not been on this stage since 2001. And they are really taking this opportunity and running with it.
Big failure to advance call against LR, so right back to Steinbach and company. They will re-trigger with a chance to take a lead.
And Adelphi really exclusively going with this midfield line of Steinbach, Horinsky, and Lewis. They are going to win this game or they are going to lose this game on these guys' backs.
And they've been the difference, Dixie, you're right.
Big time.
Midfielders have had a huge game today. Horinsky, second half hat trick, gets free. Here's a righty shot, sent just off target. A shorty matchup head-to-head with Landon Parker. But Horinsky is feeling it with some major confidence. 2 for Steinbach in the third quarter as well. So those two, part of the midfield that Mark just documented. Big part of the Adelphi push here to tie the game in the fourth quarter. Donnellan almost lost his footing, stepped into the crease. Handles near side GLE for Lewis. The pick, Horinsky. Lewis free for a moment, trying to pull the trigger. Slide comes. Somebody's open. Steinbach thinks about another one. Here's the sweep. Here's the shot. Here's the goal. Kyle Steinbach's got another one. He reeled in a big one. The celebration is fantastic. It's another for Adelphi. Guess what? Panthers have a lead here in the fourth quarter. Steinbach's got a hat trick. Horinsky's got a hat trick.
Over Long Island, Bob Quinn, one of the Adelphi Panthers who helped lead this program to an NCAA Division I tournament appearance back in 1985. Scored a goal on his brother in the first round, Larry Quinn of the Johns Hopkins Blue Jays. This is fantastic lacrosse. And until Lenoir-Rhyne can stop the sweeps of these midfielders, I'd run them into the ground. I mean, just keep going back to that bread and butter. Keep going back to that formula.
First time today Adelphi has had a lead. And it comes in the fourth quarter. Just over 9 to go. Possession for Mancini and company with a face-off win. Much needed to stop the momentum of those star midfielders of the Panthers. Wow. Horinsky and Steinbach literally have taken the game over here. And things have shifted immensely, suddenly playing from behind for the first time. Bender and Huff operate here. LR trying to tie the game now. A new role for them. Step in Bender, pass in front, broken up. Leonard almost found it. On the end line, good hustle. It's out of bounds, and Lenoir-Rhyne will keep it. Great effort from Groom. The transfer from Albany, 6 CTs on the season for him.
Terrific.
6-foot pole.
Well, terrific play by Sloan Stewart to slap that ball out of the stick of Groom to extend and get Lenoir-Rhyne another possession. He broke his shaft. He broke his stick on that. Has to get out of play, but that is a turn. If they can score, this could be a turning point in this game.
Bender for Voss. Hipchin, huge hit. Flag flies. D'Alessandro, a second big hit as he smokes Bender. Hipchin and D'Alessandro both get physical. And we got a cross-check call coming here and a 1-minute penalty. And what an opportunity for the Bears to tie the game.
Yeah, that was an awkward-looking play as the Lenoir-Rhyne player had the ball taken away. He was bending over to pick it up, and the Adelphi player hit him from the front. That's always a dangerous proposition because that head and neck area is in such an exposed situation. The cross-check is what's called, and an extra man offensive opportunity coming up for this Lenoir-Rhyne team.
Hipchin will take a seat and on one knee in the bin for 60 seconds. Each team 0 for 1 Dixie. Extra man offense so far on Championship Sunday. So Voss, Aguilar, perimeter of the box for Powell. Jared Huff. Voss in the back 15. Passing in front. Aguilar can't find a clean handle. Nudged ahead. Good play defensively by the goaltender. Renner finds his teammate at 42 in white, and Groom, who's really had a great game today for Adelphi with a 6-foot pole. Now Butler and company, the grad student, will try to clear across the midfield line. Well done. Good pass. O'Shea. And the shorty who was out there a moment ago, 5-on-6, trying to kill the penalty, clears it for the Panthers.
There was a man open right on the crease. Lenoir-Rhyne, their fundamentals and their stick work have kind of eluded them here late in this game. And it's almost like Adelphi are the ones who have been here before. Lenoir-Rhyne seems to have tensed up, and they're not executing at the level that they normally do.
Boko in the back 15. Great penalty kill for the Panthers here. Trying for their first title since 0-1. Boko, sharp angle, tries for the far pipe. Yeah, it's out of bounds. Backed up by Donelon. Sophomore East Islip, Long Island. Return pass, Braden Donelon. Here's Boko. Far side goal line extended. Lewis, quiet so far. Maybe make some noise here. 0 for 4. So far in the game, shooting for Kyle Lewis. The one more pass. Hits a shot and a goal. Adelphi does it again with Horinsky. The first line middies have been awesome. Horinsky's got 4. Steinbach's got a hat trick. And Adelphi extends the lead, making 11-9 fourth quarter.
Wow. Lewis may not have any points. Is monumental for Adelphi. He loses his footing, is about to get depossessed. Some way, somehow flips it to number 0, Logan Tucker, who unselfishly then makes the one more. This is a team desperate to win their first national title since 2001.
Hard to believe. O'Shea, Mancini here, partner, head-to-head. Hipchin finds the ground ball. Lost the handle briefly, though. Anyone's ball here. Trying to gain possession off the face-off. Eventually comes to LR. After quite a battle off the wing there, Robbie Walker has got it offensively into the box. Wow.
Both these teams with their outstanding goaltenders give up less than 8 goals a game. And now it's 11-9, so obviously that has been pushed to the side. Now it's about execution if you're Lenoir-Rhyne, because you're getting looks on the interior of this Adelphi offense. Got to make some crisp passes. Excuse me, Adelphi defense.
Right. Off around the cage, clockwise. Chance here for LR. Hipchin, good defense. Battling there, head-to-head with Dillon. The shorty gets physical. Voss, passing in traffic, return pass. Voss thought about pulling the trigger, does not. Here's Huff outside with 30 to go here in this possession.
It's almost like they're afraid to make a mistake. Like, that was 2 shots that were really quality right there.
Yeah,
Renner's
trigger.
Oh!
Right on cue. Blast, LR, response. Case and Dillon, The high point transfer's got another one for LR. Now the Bears do respond with a high heat. Beats Renner, 11-10 game.
Not once, but twice. And I'm thinking, okay, Renner's in their head. And maybe he is. But you want to talk about a game-changing, potentially game-changing goal as Dylan paints the top shelf where Mom hides the Thin Mints. Beautiful shot. Beautiful offense by the Bears.
One of my favorite Dixie-isms. You got a bunch of them. I love that one, man. Hides the Thin Mints. That's awesome. Donovan has the handle here. Face-off win for Adelphi. So 2 goals in the game for Powell, but none more important than that one to make it a 1-tally tilt here in the 4th.
And they're starting to win face-offs. 18-7 is where we are in that category.
Wow. 18 of 25. And still down. That's 20, what Gordon Purdy told us. Look.
27%.
27%.
I mean, you said Gordon Purdy told us he wanted to get to 50.
Yeah.
Good luck with that.
Not going to happen.
I don't mean to be a wise guy, but you come in, 33%.
But you still have a lead.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the best teams in the country, winning 33% of your draws. Pretty good. Lewis gets the pick, pulls the trigger, he scores! There's Kyle Lewis, finally on the board for Adelphi. He's got a big tally for the Panthers. They extend the lead again to 2, 12-10 in the 4th.
I felt as ineffective as Lewis was in the first half, he has been point, but he's been so impactful in other ways. And this time, look at the maturity and look at the discipline. He beats his man. He's running out of angle, so he puts the brakes on a little bit. And how about the little head fake? Look low, shoot high. Nice job by Kyle Lewis.
Gordon Purdy, in our great conversation with him this week, said no one loves lacrosse more than anyone he's ever seen than Lewis. Literally stays for hours with coaches after practice, after workouts, watching film, talking lacrosse. A future coach in the making, no question about that. Bayer takes the draw this time for Adelphi. They'll throw a lot of different guys out there. Bottom line, they've got possession with Braden Donnelly. 2-goal lead, under 4 to go. Can Adelphi close out the defending champs here in Philly and win the program's 8th title, first in 23 years?
I mean, we talked about it from the get with the celebration of the first goal to Renner chirping the first save and the shooter after he made a stop. This team is filled with confidence. And when they went down, you're thinking that this game might be out of reach, but man, this Adelphi team playing with so much poise, so much swagger. It's unbelievable.
30 Dixie to shoot here. Boko and Donnellan back 15 play catch. Shorty matchup Boko. Here's the sweep. He'll fake, he'll shoot, sends it just off target, got decked, and a flag flies. Penalty coming here on LR and Thomas Farlow. The grad student LSM is going to take a knee here for the Bears.
Yeah, Boko's only 5'6", but he is tough. We've seen him time and time again today going into the Valley of the Giants, and he just got dropped like a bag of dirt. That is an unnecessary roughness, late hit call. Doesn't look like he's going to be locked in, so it'll be an extra man opportunity for up to 1 minute for Adelphi, which is gigantic, especially when you have 3:07 left on the clock. If I'm the Panthers, try to milk as much time as you can and then work for a quality shot without being overly conservative, yet being judicious.
Victor Powell, first-team All-American, actually the guilty party there. So Horinsky, who's had an amazing second half, scored making it 5. He's got 3 goals in this second half. Steinbach has got the second half hat trick as well. Ryan Horinsky from Massapequa re-triggers. Man up time. Great opportunity. Each team so far in the game 0 for 2 EMO offense. But this could really give the Panthers their first 3-goal lead of the game with time running out here. 2.5 to go and be a major difference maker. Tucker. Horinsky and Lewis play catch. Donnellan parked to the right of the cage. See if they try feed down low. Eamon Hall dumps into the corner. And that's it on the shot clock.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of how they handled that.
Right,
I don't mind bleeding it down about 40, 45 seconds, but then with that extra, 20, 15 seconds you have left, run your EMO, run your extra man play. You've got that advantage.
I'm not sure why they wouldn't go for a cash-in goal there. Aaron pass, midfield line, 50-50 ball. D'Alessandro trying to find the handle. Comes away to Adelphi. It's a huge turnover. Right back to Groom. The first close defenseman. Dangerous pass. Donnellan does handle across the midfield stripe and sprint into the offensive end here with just over 90 to go. They've got the ball back in a 2-goal lead.
They've got one timeout remaining, and I'm just really, really surprised, as for as much confidence as Adelphi has demonstrated. I think Gordon Purdy burned a timeout there, and the referee didn't give it to him.
Donnellan fell down. Big turnover here. Enormous play. LR gets it back.
You can see the Adelphi bench is very upset because in that situation, and we saw it, Purdy was stalking the official, and he doesn't get the timeout. Here comes Lenoir-Rhyne, and again, they turn it over. But I think Lenoir-Rhyne took a timeout.
Greg Paradine did get a timeout before the turn. Powell scored for Lenoir-Rhyne, make it 8-4 from Voss. 11:23 to go third quarter. Really since then, Dixie, it's been Adelphi on the comeback trail. Horinsky, Steinbach both have hat tricks in the second half. Lewis his first. That made it a 2-goal lead as we check the most championships. D2 history, Adelphi has the most ever with 7 titles. Lemoyne now has moved up to D1. And Sheehan's team last won it in 2021. We called that on NCAA.com in East Hartford at Rensselaer Field. Limestone, the great tradition, along with NYIT and CW Post. So chance to extend the record here for the Panthers, closing in on more history. It's been a minute, 23 years since they've won a title. Most of the players weren't born then in 01, right? So a minute one standing between Adelphi and a championship. How do they close the game out?
Just do what you've done. Play with confidence, play with swagger, but you got to be disciplined. I'm curious to see. I think Adelphi stays zone. Like they came out in a man-to-man out of the last time out, created a turnover. I think they're going to show man, but then go into zone and say, try to beat our goaltender, the best player in D2. I've been amazed at how locked up Lenoir-Rhyne has been in crunch time here. This is a team that won a national title a year ago, and they just look really, really discombobulated over the last 12, 15 minutes of this contest.
Aguilar, corner of the box, re-triggers here, waits for the official signal. It is must-do time here for the Bears, hoping to defend their championship. Have to have a goal on this possession. Hop with a minute to go in regulation, up top, down by 2. Passing in traffic, broken up. Hipton and company make the steal. He'll sprint across the midfield line. Panthers have got it across the halfway point, and the bench starts to celebrate a little bit. 40 seconds and counting, up by 2. They'll play keep away here to try to win a title.
Adelphi looked like they were in a combo man zone. Panthers have a timeout remaining. And Lenoir-Rhyne, that was a set play, I believe, and they just threw it in the middle of 4 white jerseys. And the Panthers collapsed and get the turnover.
Boko, the sprint, trail check. LR does have a steal potentially here. Pensabene is out of the net. It's an empty goal. The battle continues here at midfield.
That's Pensabene with the ball.
Ashley, that's right. Ashley got a piece of it, but eventually comes away to Renner, and he plays it upfield, and that's going to do it. And Adelphi has won the national championship for the 8th time in school history and first time in 23 years. The Adelphi Panthers are Division II national champions. The trophy is going back to Garden City, Long Island, Dixie. This was quite a second half effort for Adelphi today.
Unbelievable. Halftime 6-4. Lenoir-Rhyne stretches that lead, seem to be dominating, winning face-offs. But we talked about it, as long as Adelphi had an opportunity, they had a chance. They started playing good lacrosse. Their confidence never wavered. Their first midfield carried them to a national title.
Born in Australia, moved to Long Island after playing in the World Championships as a collegiate player. And really never went back down under. Gordon Purdy, his beloved Adelphi program, has brought back the national championship for the first time since 2001. 12-10 the final from Philly. A remarkable comeback and finish for the Panthers here today. Now for Mark Dixon, the entire crew, it's Dave Ryan saying so long. Thanks for streaming with us on NCAA.com. And congratulations to Adelphi, 2024 Division II National Champions.